All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of our Leverage podcast. This is a super awesome gentleman, and we have spent time together over many, many, many years, probably even close to a decade now, I would guess. Yeah. Our time goes a long time back in real estate. But current client of ours at Sphere Rocket, a great partner in ours in Sphere Rocket, as well as just our real estate industry and our upbringing. Man, this guy is dialed in. I think we first met over like just even the leads that he was calling and the prospecting that he was doing and the systems and the CRMs. Just one of those guys that's really dialed in on systems and processes and knows his numbers, right? So I want to introduce a great friend of mine, Eric Lowry. So Eric, introduce yourself and tell our audience a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how you make money.
Awesome, man. First of all, thanks for having me. Thanks for the nice introduction. I appreciate it. I'm Eric Lowry. I am a real estate agent, first and foremost, I guess. Real estate team leader. I'm the owner, co-founder with my wife, Lisa, of the Lowry Team with eXp Realty. We service the Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio markets, residential real estate wise. So that gives us coverage of about probably at least a third of the state. Also am a owner, co-founder of a virtual assistant company, white label partner for Sphere Rocket. We call our company the Leverage Assist Company. We just launched that a couple months ago. Super jacked to grow that as well. At eXp, we're also, one of the ways you said, how do you make money? We sell houses first and foremost. That's how we make money. Second, we have a revenue share plan with eXp that has been very, very good to us, and we're very grateful for that. The Glenn Sanford and the crew at eXp provide that benefit for us. And obviously, we're in the leverage business with the virtual assistant company. So we have several ways there. Partner in a title company as well, small partner, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I love that. One thing I love about you and I think a lot alike, right? And not exactly alike, but a lot alike in just this growth strategies and patterns and scaling. And, we grow based on, growth that makes sense, not just randomly throwing things at a board and hoping it works, right? Like we've been there, done that. You and I are pretty seasoned in our overall life experiences and business experiences. And so, one thing I know Eric's really good at, as he alluded to, is the diversification of income streams, right? Like he saw that immediately with, eXp per se, right? With a revenue share, why not make money and on top of what you're already doing, like which is selling real estate, right? Like no brainer. And then obviously diversifies into title world a little bit, right? I was in the same boat. I had a percentage of a title company. And so again, same thing. One transaction pays three different ways potentially, right? Across that strategy. So why not multiply the income based on a single transaction? And then obviously adding that virtual assistant component, because obviously people need leverage. I mean, it's a winning recipe for most business owners. So I appreciate that. What's the biggest thing you're focused on growing right now?
Oh, that's a good question. Myself, frankly, it might not be the answer you're looking for, but I've really this year been pushing. I've always been a big personal development person. I mean, that's just part of. I don't know. It's been me for a long, long time. But this year, I've really been pushing myself in specifically into another form of leverage. I mean, we have the virtual assistant leverage. We've had, one of our VAs has been with us. She's a few weeks shy of 6 years. She's been a member of our team. And I mean that when I say she's a member of our team. She's a very integral part of our team. But this year in particular, I've really been pushing myself on the AI front. Everybody's talking about it. It's a trendy topic. It's hot everywhere, right? Every headline, it's all AI. And I'm not saying that's wrong, because it isn't. I'm all in on it, but I'm in on it in a way that I'm really trying to drive growth in our companies through the use of AI to go, it's cute if you go, and no judgment. I wrote a social media post using AI, ChatGPT. It's fine for that, but I'm using it for things like mining our CRM for opportunities. It's run every morning. It's running a report through our CRM, 8:30 in the morning. Every morning it runs. I don't touch it. It spits out a report to me and to my agents going, hey, here's opportunities you guys you're missing or you're falling behind on. I'm looking for ways that'll move the needle for us, not just, there's a lot of things you can do to save time, and that's not unimportant. But what I'm after is really growth and moving the needle through use of AI. And I feel like I'm just scratching the surface, but we're making some serious headway operationally. In most people think of operations and sales as two different sides of things. I actually believe you can operationalize sales, and that's really a lot of what we're working on right now.
Oh, that's great. I appreciate that. Take me through a little bit of, like, since you kind of opened that door a little bit, is AI and VAs, right? Like, how are you using your VAs to now start to move into that AI world, and how is that changing what they're doing and supporting your business?
Yeah, great question. So it's number one, they're not immune to the AI can really speed up things like that. Just because it can for me, you don't go, oh wow, it'll help me, but it won't help. Like, it helps everyone used properly. It helps everyone to be far more efficient and productive. And Carla's certainly one that has really bought into it. And as I'm learning stuff, I'm not just keeping it up here. I'm teaching her how to use it. And we're getting ready to make another VA hire here probably in the next couple 3 weeks. And a big part of that role will be using AI for executing on some pretty serious marketing strategies that I've developed around the use of AI and some of the things we can do with writing blog posts and what I'll need with that person is someone has a high level understanding of AI, or that I can teach that to, and then they can just make sure that execution's happening the way it's designed to. Because AI will kind of run itself, but it still needs human eyes and some human understanding. All that. So, it's not. I don't believe it's one or the other. And anybody that thinks, it's either have a VA or have AI, I think you're missing the point. I think the highest and best use moving forward of a VA is to equip them with the best tools from AI.
Yeah, and I kind of told a guest the other day, right? Kind of same thing. It's like, I look at this, and maybe it's a terrible comparison, but it's kind of like you and I are old enough to know that before the internet, right? Everything was snail mail. You worked in a corporate building. Everything had to be run down the hallway. You had to hand off a note, like there was, or a fax. But again, even then, just a simple handwritten document or contract had to be delivered across an entire building to be handed to somebody. Then the internet came and everything became automated and email, right? It made more efficiencies there. And it didn't mean that the mail carrier running back and forth was any less important. It meant he was actually able to do more because we were able to have electronic communications, right? And I kind of look at that in this AI world. It's like the VA now is equipped to do 10x more and get 10x more done because of the tools and the software. And now maybe they're not necessarily being just the inbox checker, because maybe you set up a Claude cowork or something like that to do those type of things. However, what are they doing now? They're actually working at a higher dollar value in your business. Inbox is certainly important, but if that gets automated, it doesn't mean the VA goes away. It just means now the VA is actually working on a higher dollar per hour, return on investment.
Yeah, for sure. There's no scenario where I think the AI is just going to replace the VAs in my business. In fact, the use of the AI and what I've come to realize is almost anything is possible for me because of AI these days. Mm-hmm. A couple of exceptions. I'm probably never going to dunk a basketball in an NBA game. I still can't do that even with AI, right? Like, there are certain things that are limits still that I have, but mostly my ability to build and grow now is only limited by my imagination. And so then you go, wow, I can do so much more, and I can, but there's always that caveat of, well, there's still only so much any one person can and should do. But with the use of a VA, that leverage allows me to just think more higher level things. And then the next level down, the execution of a lot of those things gets done still by human beings, at least overseeing and manipulating and driving those machines.
Yeah, I really see, like, the right VAs will develop enough prompting skills that they become the prompters. They are building the story. They are building the entire upfront engineering, if you will, of whatever whatever problem or project you're running. Everything takes a lot of front end coding, let's just say. And so if they really understand the proper prompting and get the proper information. Now that's not the business owner doing the prompting. The business owner is interpreting the prompting, right? And I think that's kind of where that next level goes, especially in the LLM world, right? In the chat GPTs and the codes and stuff like that, or Claudes.
Yeah, I think I'll share something here. I haven't talked a lot about this is kind of a thing I've been working on. It's not a secret, I guess, but I haven't really talked about it a lot publicly. But I'm building a second brain inside of Claude right now. Are you familiar with the concept at all? Or?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And I'm basically teaching it everything I know about running a real estate team. Slowly but surely.
Very cool.
Every meeting I hold now, every Zoom call, every document I create, or every document that I get from some other guru out there or whatever that resonates with how I think about real estate is all being dumped into that brain. And that sounds cool. What are you going to do with it? Well, one of the things is, take, for instance, Carla. Like, it's going to get to the point where the ability for her to operate at such a high level inside of my business that'll be like nothing even close to what she's doing right now, without having to query me all the time on things, is I think 4, 6, 8 months from now is going to be remarkable.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And that made like my transitional pieces. So if I have like a team member leaves, right, I literally have my executive admin. So it always drives me crazy when people are just like, I don't have enough hours for a VA. I'm like, well, then you're not thinking big enough, because there's a ton they can do. Yeah. One of the things I literally have them do, as you kind of alluded to, right, is any of our meeting transcripts, they get downloaded and put into that brain for that particular role, right? Or it's under the overarching white label / Spear Rocket company and then department under the sub projects, right? But that's the point, right? You're building out an albatross brain, especially when somebody like one of my latest team leads, right, leaves and takes another job. The next person comes in, that brain's already been built. All I have to do is plug that person in. So that handoff and transition and training, golly, would have taken weeks and weeks and weeks to do a turnover, and literally could get it done in a matter of a few days with the new member coming on and just like, sit here, go through this, ask it all the questions you want. It will give you exactly what you need to know. So cool. So cool. What is one thing that you do today that most people in your industry are not doing?
Boy, I know that's a good question. I think kind of just to what we talked about, I think most people, AI is cool, trendy, and all that, as it should be. I think of it like AI is the new utility. Like, it's not. You can remember. You and I are both old enough to remember when some people had internet, some people didn't. Right, at home. Right, like you had that dial-up thing that barely worked, and then all of a sudden more people had it. Now, we don't know anybody really, do we, that doesn't have internet, high-speed internet. It's table stakes now, and AI is very quickly becoming that as well. But the ability to really maximize AI is to take it to that next level past writing a listing description or writing a Facebook post or what. Nothing wrong with that stuff, but I think most people are still stuck at level 1 with that. I'm trying to get to, I don't know what level it is, but like level 7 or whatever. Like I'm pushing myself to do that. Like I feel like I'm a kid in like 4th grade trying to figure out how to do division every dang day. I'm breaking stuff, and I'm like, but I know that it's a difference maker in business, not just in real estate, not just in virtual assistants. It's a game changer. And man, I hate when people use that word, but it truly is in business if you can get that next level of it.
Yeah, absolutely. What would your advice be around something that I think a lot of business owners do, right? They're always chasing that next shiny object or that next tool or that next game changer, right? Like software. And by all means, there's a lot of really valuable systems and softwares. And with AI, I kind of compare it in the past of like when apps first came out, everybody was like, oh, these are really cool. Let's check out all the apps. And now the market's obviously super flooded with apps, and you could never go through the entire Rolodex of apps out there. But on AI, like specifically, like how do you balance the constantly hitting you in the face new technology and new AI applications with just you know what I mean, without losing your mind on constantly chasing this and that and pulling this and pulling that and doing this, and almost like Facebook scrolling, right? It's like, okay, you chase enough AI, all you're doing is Facebook scrolling.
Yep. So the first thing I did when I started really going, man, I think there's way more here than the just basic use. And I looked at what are some of the things inside of my business, technology wise, that we're using. And I built tools with Claude. You could do it with any of them. Probably I just chose, I went all in on Claude, right? Just because I felt like I needed to have most everything in one. I've replaced tools that I'm paying thousands of dollars a year for. And frankly, like they work better for me in my business because I designed it specifically for my business, as opposed to buying something off the shelf that I could plug in and go, that works pretty good, but it didn't quite do what we do. Like I've saved thousands and thousands of dollars. And you might go, well, somebody's watching this going, I'm not a coder. I don't write. Me either. Like I know some basic HTML, but nothing that like it wouldn't do anything other than maybe underline a text or something. That's about my pay grade. You don't need to anymore. If you can just think to ask Claude, here's what I'd like to do. It will basically, or ChatGPT, whatever. It's going to tell you how to do it. Like you don't even know how. You don't have to know stuff anymore. You don't. It's amazing. You just have to have ideas. You have to have creativity. And so I didn't go, wow, wonder what I could create. Like I'm not trying to sell stuff to the outside world. Like I'm trying to build a highly leveraged, efficient operating machine that's in real estate sales or in virtual assistant sales, right? Or in helping other agents in our rev share downline. Like, because when I help those people grow, it grows. So I think it's just about, for me, it's a belief that you can operationalize the stuff and you can help other people really get where they're going by teaching them what's possible.
Yeah, I 100% agree. What's the biggest breakthrough that changed the trajectory of your business anytime over your career?
Yeah, a long time ago. Realizing that lead conversion was a skill that you could learn. 2010, I think, was the first time I really went big into online lead generation in real estate, Google pay-per-click, that kind of thing. And I didn't have a team at the time. It was me. So all the leads, when they started coming in from all the Google AdWords I was running, I'm like, holy crap. And by the way, yes, I'm old. There wasn't texting back then. We had to call them. You could email them, but you had to call them. And so the leads, I was paying for these leads. And if they're going to get worked, guess who had to do it? Me. I had to pick up the phone and call them. And pretty quick, I realized like people started saying yes. Like, oh yeah, we'd like to show us some houses. We want to buy a house. Oh yeah, we need to sell our house. And I'm going, holy shit, excuse my language. I don't know if we're on a podcast. I didn't have to at the time. I'm like, this stuff works. And so I quickly realized, man, if I get good at this could be a game changer for my business. And so I just got obsessed with learning what to say, how to say it, learn that words matter, learn that follow-up is harder than people give it. It takes a lot longer, but all the gold's in the follow-up. I still spend a whole lot of time. I lead conversion call with my team today, 9:30 this morning. We were all on a Zoom doing, because guess what? We generate a lot of leads, and the game changes all the time for how you convert them. It's not the same as the 2010, but it's still a skill. Anybody can learn it, but you have to be willing to understand. Like you got to do a lot of work. It isn't easy. It's just not complicated.
Yeah, you got a lot of at-bats, right? And a lot of strikeouts. And eventually you start hit just like baseball or anything else. You're going to not be great at it when you start. But if you just keep swinging and swinging and swinging and swinging, you eventually start hitting the ball. And then you start hitting home runs. I
really think of this stuff as like, I'm a big football fan, right? Yep. So I'm a big fan of the best college football team in the country. That'd be the Ohio State Buckeyes. But when you understand what they do, like Ryan Day's the coach there, and I think he's one of the very best coaches, all kidding aside, in the whole country. And like his team, though, he recruits some of the best players from all over, and they run his plays. They're super mega talented kids that are going there, but they don't line up at wide receiver and then just go, wow, where will I run today? They literally run 10 yards down and they run an out or a seam route or whatever they do, whatever they're supposed to do, because the quarterback's going to launch the ball that way. And to be on Ryan's team, to be at a high school, you have to run their plays. And so when it came to lead generation, I just realized if we built plays and could get the right people to run them consistently, it turns into business.
Yeah, heck yeah. And I remember that. I think that was one of the initial things that connected us, besides being at a real estate conference, was just us picking each other's brain on a Commissions Inc. product, right? And just kind of being like, what are you doing? What am I doing? You've got more expertise than I got. I'm trying to grow a team. And you're just like, we're still figuring it out, but we're further along in figuring it out than you guys are. So,
and by the way, we're still figuring it out, because today it's about so going back to the whole thing, how do you use AI? Like we have, dude, I have an AI, I don't know what you want to call it, tool, agent, whatever, made 2,354 phone calls to leads last week.
Wow.
Sent just under 2,200 text messages to leads last week. A machine did it. And it's converting people to, handoffs and nurtures and all that. By the way, in 2010, there wasn't any of that. It was pick up the phone and call.
No.
It's always changing. And so now it's about, what do you do with those? You're always learning, always growing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. Because like you said, the human behavior changes, the market changes, like what people want to hear, it's just a constant game of change. What gives you the least leverage in your business right now, or in people's business? Maybe not even yours, just in general.
I don't know. For me, I'm not sure. That's a great question. I think on that one a bit. I think for most people, I gave this up a long time ago, so this isn't for me, but it was at one point, the feeling I had to do so much myself.
Yeah.
So many people still feel like, they call it control freak, or I don't know, whatever, people have terms for that, but that's just one of the biggest limits we all have to grow in a bigger business. Or maybe you don't want to grow a bigger business, but you'd like to have a business that gives you more freedom, either one of those things, or maybe both of them. That's kind of how I think of it. But if I believe that I have to do everything myself, I have no shot.
100%. Yeah. And I think I always say that the typical cliches, right? Perfection is the enemy of done, right? And
for sure.
Yeah. And 80% is better than not doing it at all, right? All of those cliches that are out there, but it's all true. It all goes to the, I can't let go because, and I'm like, do you realize corporations, you are a number at a corporation? Because I don't care how good you are at what you do, everybody is replaceable. I don't care who you are. So what makes you so special, right? I mean, as far as when you think that, like, I'm the only one that can do it. Wrong. I guarantee you that's wrong.
No, for sure. So I think that's the one thing that I would say a lot, not everybody, obviously, but a lot of people have as a ceiling they put on themselves, and their level of achievement is a belief that they have to do everything themselves. They've got to meet the photographer. Yep. They've got to design the flyer. They've got to, you get the idea.
Exactly. And then they wonder why they're burned out and they're tired and they're stressed and their business hits a ceiling, right? It's like, I'm so busy. I'm like, I always ask, what does that really mean? Because we're all busy.
Yeah. And I've turned that turned it on its head, or whatever that saying is. I now run a real estate team where I'm truly trying to empower the agents on our team to be successful. Yeah. And I win with that. Like that's financially I win with that, but also just in my enjoyment and reward of running the businesses, when I can help agents get their business going, their incomes, their careers to a place they didn't think it could be, like that's a huge win for me. Like that.
Yeah. Love that. What is something that's stopping? What has something that has stopped you help grow faster, right? What is something you stopped doing that helped you grow faster?
Oh man. How long do we have here? There's a list of that kind of stuff, but administrative stuff, number one, like that. I mean, that's, if you just make a list of everything you do, and then, took everything and put it in a separate column that someone else could do just as well, it would free you up to grow. If you just dial in on those things, like, become almost unstoppable. Like everything won't work perfectly. It's not supposed to. It is not supposed to. But when you are taking way more shots at things growth wise, it's kind of my term I use all the time now. I think to myself, is this moving the needle, meaning growing?
Yep.
When you focus only on those things, there's no way you're not moving forward. No way.
Right. 100%. 100%. What's something entrepreneurs are consistently underestimating?
This is an easy one. This is an easy one. So they're underestimating how long it will take to get where they think they're going, right? Like business, forget real estate or virtual assistants, just business in general, man. Success, however you determine that, is assuming it's some level of achievement. Is you think, people Mike, what's it say? Help me with it. I'm going to bungle this. Everyone overestimates what they can do in 1 year and underestimates what they can do in 3 years or 5 years or whatever.
That's
right?
exactly it. Yep.
Entrepreneurs always go, I'm gonna take this thing to the moon. In 2 years, I'll exit and sell it or whatever. And then I don't know too many significant businesses that were built in that kind of time frame.
Considering bending on the business, it takes 6 to 12 months to even get profitable in most worlds, if not 2 years, 3 years.
Longer, it's so I think that the underestimate is how long. It's not that and I think that shoots a lot of people down, kills a lot of dreams, because they think, in 3 years I'm going to be doing X, when in reality, just realistically speaking, it's probably going to take 7 or 8 years or whatever. And so they just quit before they get there. It's not that it wasn't going to work. They quit before they get there. And by the way, we're all human. If you think I haven't along the way had a couple times where I thought, I don't know, man. Like I promise you I have. And the one thing that I think is my superpower is that I don't quit. I just keep going.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to
Love that.
quit. I don't know. It's
literally,
I just keep going. And it's pushed me through some times, not gonna lie.
Yeah. No, I love that. I mean, I remember sitting in like a big mastermind Ben Kinney does for his kind of higher up groups. And he was like, why didn't I ever sell? He's like, you want the real answer why I've never sold? He's like, there were days that if somebody would have called me, they just didn't call me on the right days, right? So I think even the most successful business owners have definitely, it's not peaches and cream and roses and pink butterflies. It's like you got to get through the hard times. And, kudos to those that do, right?
Right. And, think about it this way. If it was that easy that you could launch something and in 2 years go, wow, this is magnificent, and rose petals and fairy dust and all that kind of stuff. If it was that easy, everyone would do it. And so then the reward really wouldn't even be that much, because everyone would be doing it. So the fact that it's hard means when you get there, it's going to be more valuable.
Yep, 100%. All right, last question before we move into the rapid fire round. What's one piece of leverage advice you'd give someone trying to get to the next level?
Good question. I'm a huge believer, more now than ever. And by the way, if we went all the way back to 2020, when I hired Carla, Justin Nelson gave me one piece of advice. I don't even know if he said it to me personally, but I heard him saying it on a training call or whatever. And that was to, I don't think he even used the word SOPs at the time, operating procedures, right? But I'm obsessed with those anymore. But he said, get everything documented and recorded. And I just did what he said. And so to this day, every piece of Carla's job, and she's 6 years in now, like she shows up and frankly, she maybe should be my boss almost at this point. But every task she has is in Asana. And nearly every task, high 90% plus, have a little video how-to attached to it that says, do this. Here's how. And there's a video that I created, a little screen share. They ain't fancy. Nobody would pay money for them or anything. But it's literally her operating system for how she does things. She doesn't need me on a day-to-day basis to be successful in her job. And that's what SOPs do. I did a webinar on SOPs a couple of weeks ago. And one of the things that I said was kind of a pro tip that I'm liking to do now is I took one of them, social media manager, and I threw it into ChatGPT and said, turn this into a Google Drive document. Because the SOP I have is a PDF. You can't, what are you going to do with that? But it turned it into a Google Drive document, which made it editable. And then I could tweak it to make it customized for what I wanted that person to do, not specifically just a generic. And like, man, this stuff gets so easy when you start thinking a little different about it. So
Good.
answer would be, you got to set the VA, the leverage person, maybe somebody you're hiring, if they're sitting right next to you, you still got to do this. Set them up for success. Don't just throw shit at them and go, hey, please try to do this.
Yeah, I love that concept because that's so true. Like I always try to tell people, it's like, how many jobs have you been to, and what has been like a job you really didn't like? And the common trend is they didn't give enough training, they didn't give enough guidance, they didn't give enough oversight. I know when I look back at a lot of jobs I wasn't happy with, that certainly was a part of it. And I'm like, your VAs or your leverage in-house are no different. If you give them no guidance, no training, no SOPs, what do you expect? You would be in the same position if you worked for yourself. You would be like, this job sucks. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And nobody tells me how to do it.
If you just throw someone into a job, I don't care whether it's virtual assistants, real estate agents, or grocery store shelf stockers. If you give them just if you just throw them in there and say, go do it, you basically have someone that probably has about a 5% chance of success. Let me say it out loud, like 5%, or if you set them up properly. Here's what you do. Here's how you do it. And you build all that out for them. A little bit of work ahead of time. It's not massive, but a little bit of work ahead of time. Like all of a sudden you have a 90% chance.
Yeah. And it's crazy because you build it once, right? And then that's it. You just have to take the time. Man, it's no different than ChatGPT and the concept of you've got to build it, right? You've got to put its history together. You got to put the entire brain together next time. But once you do it, pretty much done. You're just tweaking it from there, right? Just feeding it with stuff. All right, let me hit the lightning round real quick. Favorite business book?
Ooh, man, I got so many of them, dude. If you could see my office from here, like they're everywhere. So it comes and goes. My favorite business book, The Miracle Morning.
Okay,
straight up basic. First version. There's a bunch of different ones, but that one.
Love it. Best purchase under $1,000.
My laptop, probably, because I can go compute anywhere in the world. I could be in the cloud. I don't know.
Favorite AI tool?
Easy peasy there, Claude.
Wow, there you're going with that one. Favorite app that you use on your phone?
That's a little bit.
What app do you use the most? Either one.
I don't use my phone for as much as other people do.
Okay.
It's probably Slack, 100%.
All right. What is your belief that you have that most entrepreneurs disagree with?
I don't know if they would disagree with it, but it's a belief that I can do anything.
Okay.
I can believe that I can do anything, and the only thing that will stop me is me if I quit.
Yep. Love it. If you could track one KPI, what would it be in your business?
In my real estate team, it would be the one number that I watch every day for our team is like conversations. The conversations we're having with consumers. That's just the single biggest thing there is. If we're talking to enough people, everything flows from that.
Absolutely. Since we talk so much about delegation, automation, what's one thing you would never delegate? Lisa. The answer is Lisa. You'd never delegate Lisa.
Thanks for saving me on that one. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I'll say, when you think about business tasks and stuff, though, dude, I believe the era we're in now, it's very limited to stuff that over time you can't. I think you can run a pretty big business on a lot less hours than ever before moving forward. If you do the work, set things up right.
Yeah. Love that. All right. Last one. What's your definition of leverage?
That I can be wherever I want to be at any given day and my businesses keep operating. That's super general, probably not even what you were looking for, but if I could be, if I could come to Dallas and you and I could go to lunch, and it would be a 3-hour lunch where we just carried on about football and sphere rocket and forever. And we lost track of time. And I went back to your office and you said, well, man, I got to get to work. And I'm going, I guess I should pay attention, but I want everything to keep running, right? Like when I'm doing that, if I'm in Florida, if I'm on the beach, things keep running. That's my leverage.
Love that. Love that. All right, Eric. Well, thanks so much for your time on the show today. Everybody, please watch this show out on the YouTube channels. We'll put it out there on all of the podcast servers. Like us, comment, ring the bell, shoot us messages. Eric, if anybody wants to get a hold of you for whether it's real estate needs in the Ohio area or virtual assistants, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
The easiest way is probably to find me on Facebook. I'm super easy to find there. I don't have one of those hidden profiles. Anybody in the world can see it. It's just, I think it's facebook.com/Eric Lowry and then number 0, I think, or no.
You can always look me up. We're connected everywhere. So
you can find me there, whether it's real estate, virtual assistants. There's a link there for all my businesses. Contact me, book at a time to talk, whatever it might be.
All right. Love that, man. Well, thanks everybody for attending the show. Eric, thanks for spending your time with us today. And we'll see everybody on the next episode.
Appreciate you.